Hello from a very cold Blackpool. I thought we'd do a slightly different video this week. I wanted to update you on all the things that have been going on both in Blackpool with the budget, different things that I'm involved with Tramtown, big update there, and also have a chat with you about some of the park work we've been doing. But I think we need to start with what happened last night. So this is Saturday, the 1st of March, and there was a big conversation last night around Zelensky and Trump and what Trump did. I think most people will say it was a disgraceful thing that he did. It felt like he was bullying him, and it has a huge impact on the world in terms of the world order. I think it was best summed up by Trudeau not that long ago when he said that this whole war in Ukraine is actually about, and why it affects all of us, is actually about the honouring and protection of national boundaries and international boundaries. So if Ukraine goes, then no one is safe because everybody can start to help themselves to a bit of their neighbours' territory. So it has a big impact. And just after Christmas, I wrote something about why why we should invest in the Commonwealth, our relationships with Nigeria and Kenya. And I didn't actually realise at the time actually why that was so significant, because we need to do more of that. We need to invest in our allies in the Commonwealth, Canada, especially Australia, the Commonwealth realms, and then we need to invest in supporting our Eastern European allies in terms of what's happening. So what happens next? It's going to have to. We're going to have to, as a world, have some big conversations. America's clearly going isolationist. We're going to have to invest in the defence forces. That has big consequences for budgets and so on, and what can be spent on other things. But I'm going to put a link below to the Commonwealth article that I wrote. I'm going to really push hard for the Commonwealth. I totally understand how it works. Having lived in Zimbabwe, I spent some time in Mozambique, spent some time in Canada. They are natural allies, so it just makes sense to build those relationships again. And especially some of the attacks that we've seen on Canada recently about it becoming the 51st state of America by Trump, and it's just crazy. So yeah, that's my view on our relationship with the world, and but it will affect us. There's no doubt about it is going to affect us. Trump has chosen almost an approach to rip up 200 years worth of rules in what he's trying to do. Pretend that the rest of the world doesn't exist, and as as Zelensky said last night, America might be protected by the ocean, but they will eventually come for them as well. So it does affect us on locally, though. This week we had the budget, and I went and spent a lot of time on that budget and presented an alternative budget. Labour Council wanted to put council tax up again. They which they always do because they like taxing things. They wanted to reduce spending on adults and children's services, which is just bonkers because they'd never hit budget, and these are the most vulnerable people in the town. And they wanted to put rents up. So I wanted to come in with a complete refresh, a restart for Blackpool. And I presented an alternative budget based on two Blackpools. So if you don't know, Blackpool has two Blackpools in a sense. It has life expectancy at one end of town, or the two ends, the shoulder ends, about 79, which is close to the national average. In awards, so that's your Bloomfields, which is where I am at the moment actually, is the average age, the life expectancy here is 68. The biggest cause of death here is poisoning, which is almost a Victorian term. And poisoning roughly means everything from suicide, heroin, alcoholism. And that's 30% of all deaths here. You start to get ill at 52 and you never get better. And the average age for everywhere else is in their mid 60s. So you cannot continue to do that because this area also has big council tax arrears, understandably. So I presented an alternative budget that would invest in these areas to make one Blackpool. And in time, you would get better council tax returns, healthier people, everybody wins. and part of that would be to follow the Poundbury model. You would basically create better housing, not demolishing everything, but you create an ownership model, lots of shared ownership, lots of private investors coming in, small sole traders upwards. You would create a Blackpool investment company similar to the Singapore investment company in terms of allowing small investors to invest. Following the Poundbury model, you develop some parks, you put a library in, you give it all the facilities that you get in the Anchor Zone and places like that I represent. So that was a big push, and ultimately what that would do was would allow you to freeze council tax. So you don't have to put taxes up at the time all the time, because Blackpool has one of the highest council taxes, the lowest set of wages, and also some of the lowest council tax returns. And you don't have to be a brain surgeon to work out what's going on. So I was really adamant about that. Of course, Labour voted it down, because they always do. And we'd also proposed that we would reduce some of the senior officers that we have in the town, and reduce councillor allowances. Well, councillors paid far too much in Blackpool. I don't take all my allowance, and neither should some of those other councillors. The fact that they put free, but Labour voted for free council allowance increases in the last 2 years is disgraceful, and they should be ashamed of themselves. I did say I was ashamed to be a Blackpool councillor, and I will hold on that statement until those life expectancies start to go up. Other things that we've done this week, we also did a big piece of work in one of the parks, Ankerstone Park. Very excited about this. We did a volunteer recruitment day, and the volunteer recruitment day meant we were able to recruit some new volunteers. We had 4 people turn up. I was really chuffed, because I only thought we'd get 1 person turn up. So to get 4 was brilliant. So we're going to keep those going. We'll do some more of those. Now, for all the tram people that have logged in, because you've seen something in the title, I am very pleased to say that we're back. We're back in the tram fitting shop. We've got a whole new experience this year. We have exhibition tours on, so that'll allow you to come in, have a walk round, have a look at the different displays in the fitting shop, and obviously we'll have different displays on, history of the tramway. Some trams will be in there, so you can look at the trams, hopefully be able to go and sit on one of the trams, and obviously at the moment we're now working on the shop, cleaning it all up and putting the displays in, and this will allow us to protect the trams and start to raise more money to invest in the home of the tram. So this is basically the fitting shop, the engineering works, as well as the in time the tram shed itself. We're absolutely desperate to get back in that tram shed. We are working on that funding bid. There's another one that they're working on, so hopefully we'll get some money from that. But in the meantime, it's as I've always said, you've got to do what you want to be, and we want to be a heritage centre. Well, that's what we're going to be, and we open in Easter. So what I thought I'd do now is just give you a lovely tour of where we are in Blackpool, and so I'll spin the camera around and let you have a look at where we are. So location-wise, we're currently on Manchester Square pumping station, and you'd be pleased to know it doesn't smell. Sometimes it can be a little bit ripe here, but what you can see in front of you there is the South Pier, and next to it is the Pleasure Beach. I'll just rotate the camera around now. You've got a lovely calm sea today. It's really nice. So I'm just going to rotate round here, and we're going to have a look at the Central Pier shortly. There's the Central Pier in all its magnificence, and there is our beloved Blackpool Tower. And Blackpool Tower is a great source of hope for me, mainly because it looks amazing, but also the way it was financed. For those who don't know, it was raised by people investing in shares, and that's something that I'm a big believer in terms of how we can fix some of Blackpool's projects and products and issues and challenges, and that is literally allow a model that will allow people to invest in them. So yes, that's all from a very lovely day here in Blackpool. It's starting to warm up now, which is great. I hope you have a lovely day. I'll put some of the links in below on some of the things that I've talked about in this piece, and I look forward to seeing you soon. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll keep the videos coming.